Like I said, I would like to learn classical music. More specifically, I'd like to learn to be able to compose and even conduct my own pieces of classical symphony music, like the Hungarian composer Bela Bartok and the other Hungarian composer Zoltán Kodály and Gustav Holst, who wrote the planners, and that composer Carl Nielsen, who wrote Rhapsodic Overture, Helios Overture, Panashrink Overture. So I'd like to be able to learn how to compose and even conduct my own classical music compositions. That's what I'm looking to be able to do. I'm hoping to, and I'm hoping I'm well and widely accepted into the classical music community. And I'm hoping now, I got to be honest, say, I really probably don't have a lot of money. I don't have an awful lot of money. I gotta admit that money might be a problem. Money might be a problem because I don't have an awful lot of money. But I would like to learn classical music, how to write my own symphonies and compose my own classical music compositions like Bartok, Kodály, Holst, and many other composers such as who's that other one I'm thinking of? Carl Nielsen, that's it, Carl Nielsen. And I'm hoping that they can compose and conduct my own symphonies, my own classical music compositions like Gustav Holst, Bela Bartok, Zoltán Kodály, Carl Nielsen, and the likes. But the only problem I can think of is the money. I probably won't have the money, but if I did, I'd like to study music at the University Windsor, their music school. University of Windsor Music School. And I think I'd like my music teacher, music professor. I think I'd like that Daniel Wiley be my music teacher, music professor, because I would like to learn from the cream of the crop, the best there is. And that's what I think. I think that, well, I know that Robert Franz is a pretty good, he's a one more than pretty good conductor and very knowledgeable. I met him. Now, like I said, I met Robert Franz, the Windsor Symphony Orchestra, Now that I've met Robert Franz, I'm hoping that I'm gonna meet Daniel Wiley. That's what I'm hoping. And I'd like to be able to study music at the University of Windsor. But I gotta admit that money may be a problem. It may be a problem, money. And then there's other factors which are probably they shouldn't be too problematic, like time. We all need time. And so I don't think time would be the biggest problem. I think that probably the most biggest problem is money. Where in the world will they get the money to take a course in music, classical music composing and conducting? Where would they get the money to take out the musical course, partake in the musical course at the University Windsor Music School? Of course, I like this, but so what I'm doing is I'm studying a lot of YouTube tutorials, reading different books on how to compose and conduct. I'm really taking in a lot of tutorial videos, teaching videos, getting to learn a lot about the music notes, learning how to conduct, watching other conductors conduct. And so the only resources I have at my disposal now are like the YouTube tutorial videos, teaching videos, reading different how to do books, how to compose, how to conduct music books about the music notes. I'm very interested to learn classical music, more specifically how to compose my own classical music compositions and how to conduct the classical music compositions that I have written. So far, I have not written any, but I'm in the process of studying the notes and different other things associated with making up your own sheet music. I'm intrigued by classical music. I'm intrigued by classical music and inspired by the beautiful things that I'm able to see and hear. And inspired by the things in nature and all the things that I feel are beautiful and express certain feelings, good feelings, good vibrations, good feelings, things of that nature. Express myself that way. Form of expression as the music is, it's a type of artwork, performing art. And I would like to learn music at the University Windsor. But see, then the problem is, where do I get the money? Where do I get the money? Would I have the money? And my time would be a problem too, but time would not be the biggest problem. The biggest problem would be the money. Now, where do I get this money? That would be the most biggest problem is money. Time might be a problem, but I don't think time would be the biggest problem. And I'm willing to learn music. I'm willing to learn music. And I'm inspired by classical music. It's nice when you can listen to music by the other composers, Bartok, Kodai, Gustav Holst, Carl Nielsen. It's very nice that you can listen to music by them. But my feeling and my philosophy is that yes, it's nice to listen to music, but how about make my own music? How about compose and conduct my own music pieces? How about that? And I'd really like to learn music. I'm inspired, especially that going to nighttime concerts at the Windsor Symphony and Capitol Theater. Nighttime, when it's dark outside and you see all those city lights and kind of the nighttime life. It just gives me a type of electric jolt. Like I'm inspired by it. That's my favorite. I love the scenery. As I'm getting to the Capitol Theater for concert, I love the scenery. This is part of my culture, like my chosen culture, the culture that is not, is my culture by choice. This is a culture that I can fell madly, deeply and madly in love with. I can't even in love with this culture. I just fell in love with the whole culture. And I think my first concert at the Windsor Symphony at nighttime, when it's kind of dark out, and the nighttime sky is blacker than ace of spades. And all those beautiful colored lights outside. That's true inspiration. I kinda like the nightlife. That nightlife that on the way to the Capitol Theater, and I love classical music. And like I said in some other videos I made, what I like is I also love the scenery in the Capitol Theater. I like nice red carpet they have. The way it's nicely lit up at night. I like the whole layout. The whole layout and how, you get into the concert, the actual concert hall. When they turn out all the lights and it's in complete darkness, the only light there is like I say, these orange, gold, orange, amber, orangey, gold, brownish lights, that amber like lights that they can make it the darker slide as me and them as they like to. And that lights that are shone on the conductor, shone on the musicians, and that wood paneling in the back of the conductor and the musicians. It matches the lights like a brownish red, or it's beautiful, whether it's dark or lighter. I kinda like it dark. The darker the better, but then if it's too dark, you can't really enjoy it if it's too dark. So, but the darker the better, I like it. And it's a very, some of the music is just so uplifting, and I like when it has like a strong, loud, strong, and happy beat to it, like a happy upbeat, strong, loud, happy upbeat music. Like I like the pieces that like by Bartok's most famous composition by Bartok is his Concerto for Orchestra. And let's not forget Gustav Holst's planets. And they're all beautiful. Every movement is beautiful. Mars, the bringer for Venus, bringer of peace. Mercury, the winged messenger. Jupiter, bringer of jollity. Let's see, there's Uranus, the magician. Neptune, the mythic. And they have a lovely choir. Myself, if I was Gustav Holst, I'd like to go with a African Nigerian choir. Because I heard the Africans, the Nigerians, singing in the choir, and I could just imagine an all Nigerian African choir singing, whoa! Neptune the Mythic, that they had Neptune the Mythic has a choir. By Gustav Holst. Now, if I was Gustav Holst, I'd be going with a Nigerian choir, an African Nigerian choir. Because I heard some Nigerian Africans singing in the choir, and kind of their own church choir, and they sung good. And that's probably what they go with. All the planets, all the pieces that Gustav Holst wrote in his Planet Suite they're all good. I mean, if you say what's your favorite one, you could pick because it's all good. That's hard. Pick your favorite one. Well, how can you do it when they're all equally as good to see out there? One I would say is not better than the other, and one I would say is not any less than the other. They're all equally as good, so pick my favorite one. Well, I'd have trouble there. But the point I'm trying to make is I love classical music. I love that kind of music. I like the imagery. Let's see, I like to describe it as in every last little detail. My experience at the Windsor Symphony Capitol Theater. Only if you could just relive it. I can imagine that my mind was, especially when I've been to a few of them. I can tell you, what can I tell you that I even like the scenery, okay, well, there's some sceneries. I like the red curtains they have red curtains. Let's see what else I told you about that lighting. I like the lighting there, especially at nighttime when you're waiting to get in or when you're finished and I'm waiting for the Hindu Transit bus to pick me up. And so I like that. I'm very familiarized with their conductor, Robert Franz. And it was a good experience when I met Robert Franz. I liked the experience. It was a good one. I really liked it. Now I'm hoping to meet Daniel Wiley, who is their associate conductor. And it was a very lovely experience. Very lovely indeed. And I would like to be able to study music at the University Windsor. But the problem might be the money. Now I already know Robert Franz. Now I would like to meet Daniel Wiley, and I'm hoping that not very long, and I'll be well received in the classical music community. I will be very well received into the classical music community because I'm inspired by that. That's what truly inspires me. And it goes so much deeper than just inspired and intrigued. This is something that I really like. I really like this kind of thing. And I'm hoping that I can study music at the University of Windsor, their music study program. I'm hoping that the University of Windsor is going to offer some kind of study program to people of my age group that would like to learn music. This is something I'm intrigued by. Every person is intrigued by something. Albert Einstein was intrigued by science and the different formulas you were writing on the blackboard, that had to do with science, and MC square equals MC square, whatever he wrote. In my case, is music and the music notes. And what some of the symbols mean. And this is what I'm hoping to study. This is the kind of music I like. I happen to know another musician. There's other musicians, a black rap artist by the name of Papa Doc. He's more into rap music. I watch him on YouTube. I like a lot of the videos he's made. And I am to know that rap music is his kind of music. In my case, it's classical music is my kind of music. The black rapper, Papa Doc, has made it into rap music. I guess you could say my dream is to make it into classical music, to be a composer, conductor, like a Bela Bartok, Zoltan Kodály, Gustav Holst, Carl Nielsen, and even Leonard Bernstein. Of course, I'd be making my own kind of music, but everyone has her favorite. I guess it's all, what is your cup of tea? Everybody likes something. And so, what is your cup of tea? Well, mine is classical music. And I'd like to be able to compose and conduct my own symphony pieces. Like Bartok, Kodály, Holst, Carl Nielsen, those ones that have made that kind of music, that kind of music that I treasure so much. So I'm really hoping to learn classical music. I'm hoping that I can learn classical music at the University Windsor, their classical music department, to learn classical music at the University of Windsor, specifically how to compose and how to conduct my own classical music pieces. And that's what I'm hoping for. Because I like classical music, but like I said, it's not just music, but the truth is I love all art. I love all art. And it seems to me that the only art that you need a lot of education for is music. And I'd like to be able to get that education from music. It seems that every other kind of art doesn't really take much education. But when it gets right down to music, especially classical symphony and chamber and philharmonic music, when you really get right down to those kinds of music, it seems that having a musical education is so crucial on that. And I really would like to learn music. That's how I'd like to be able to make my bread and butter. Nowadays jobs are very hard to come by. And it seems it's getting worse because machinery, automation technology, and to find a job nowadays is like good luck to you. Good luck. May the Most High be on your side. But classical music, they say when you're doing something you love, and I love classical music, they say that when you're doing something you love, you never work a day in your life. They say that when you're doing something you happen to love, you never do work a day in your life. When you're doing something that you love, you never work a day in your life. Well, okay, with that said, what they need to do now is study more music. So